Question 61. Question 61 asks that chemiosmosis explains. Chemiosmosis given by Peter Michel, and he explained that during cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation as well as in the oxidative phosphorylation, how ATP synthesis in chloroplast occurs. So option A become correct answer. Next is question 62. Question 62 asks that law of limiting factor was given by. Now law of limiting factor that is given by Blackman, so it is also known as Blackman's law of limiting factor. So Blackman option C is correct answer. But now we should understand what this law of limiting factor says. And the law of limiting factor says that when a process is regulated by multiple factor, the rate of photosynthesis is regulated by a factor which is in minimum amount. So according to this, the major limiting factor and major lowest minimum is found of CO2. So Blackman's law of limiting factor says that CO2 is limiting as well as when a process others can also be limiting. Next is question 63. Question 63 asks that with reference to the factor affecting the rate of photosynthesis, which is the following statement is not correct. We have to identify not correct statement. So in question 63, option A is given as that increasing atmospheric CO2 concentration up to 0.05% can enhance CO2 fixation rate. Increasing CO2 concentration at 0.05, yes, it can lead to the increase in the rate of photosynthesis. Statement B is given as C3 plant respond to high temperature. C3 plant respond to high temperature with enhanced photosynthesis, while C4 plant have much lower temperature optimum. It is incorrect. Actually, C3 plant have a lower optimum temperature optimum, but C4 plant required a high temperature to work. So it is incorrect. C is given as tomato in greenhouse crop which can be grown in CO2 enriched atmosphere for higher yield. Yes, tomato is a C3 plant, and for C3 plant, if we increase the CO2 concentration, then fertilization can occur and the photosynthesis reach to the maximum rate. So it is correct. D is given that light saturation for CO2 fixation occur at 10% of full sunlight. Yes, light saturation or the maximum rate of photosynthesis achieved at 10% of the full sunlight. So it is a correct answer. So B, remember, B is the not correct statement, so that becomes the correct answer. Next is question 64. Question 64 asks that photosystem 2 occurs in a. So photosystem 2, that is PS2, if we talk about location, in case of chloroplast, there is a thylakoids, and this membranous system which are present within the chloroplast, they are result of a innervation of this membranous. Now this PS2 is located on the region which is a press between the two thylakoids of a grana thylakoid. So PS2 is located in membrane of grana thylakoid. So answer become option C, grana. That is correct answer. Question 65. Question 65 asks that in a non-cyclic photophosphorylation, electron released by PS1 is accepted by. In non-cyclic photophosphorylation, electron released by PS1, that is a photosystem 1, if it releases the electron, that electron are received by iron sulfur protein and it ultimately passes to the NADP. So this NADP will form a NADPH2. So here this is the electron acceptor and this is the NADP ultimate. So in question 65 two answers are possible, that is A, NADP, and C, electron acceptor. Both can be a correct answer for the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Next is question 66. Question 66 asks that the scientist who showed that only the green parts of the plant that could release oxygen. Green parts of plant could release oxygen, that is explained by Julius von Such. So C is correct answer. Next is question 67. Question 67 asks that C3 plants show a optimum photosynthesis at optimum photosynthesis in C3 plant occur at high O2, high CO2, low O2, high temperature. High temperature, C3 plant cannot do photosynthesis at high temperature. So B option, high CO2 become the correct answer. Next is question 68. Question 68 asks that identify the X from the figure. So it is a diagram based question in which X is shown as stroma lamella. So B become correct answer. Next is question 69. Question 69 asks that sugarcane having a highest CO2 fixation capacity among all because blank it follows. Now sugarcane can perform photosynthesis at high temperature and show highest CO2 fixation because sugarcane show H and slack pathway, and H and slack pathway is nothing but C4 pathway. So option C become the correct answer. Next, question 70. Question 70 asks that match the appropriate pair. Match the appropriate pair. Now in this column 1 and column 2 are given. Column 1 is cyclic photophosphorylation. Second is given as non-cyclic photophosphorylation, and third is given as C4 cycle. Now if we go on matching with the column 2, it cyclic photophosphorylation matches with the A, that is only PS1 is involved. Non-cyclic photophosphorylation that matches with the B, that is ATP form. Yes, in non-cyclic photosphorylation ATP formation occur, and C4 cycle matches with the D, that is high productivity. So according to this match, option A become correct answer. Next is question 71. Question 71 asks that match the following column. Again, this is a question of match the following column. Now in this column 1 and column 2 are given. Column 1 asks that a yellow to yellow orange. We have to match a color of pigment with the color. B is given as green and C is given as yellow. If it matches with the column 2, in column 2 it matches with yellow to yellow and orange are carotenoids, green are chlorophyll A, and yellow are option 2, that is xanthophyll. So according to this, B option become correct answer. Next is question 72. Question 72 asks that assertion is given as Rubisco, that is most abundant enzyme in the world, is characterized by the fact that its active site can bind to both CO2 and O2. Yes, Rubisco is the most abundant enzyme and can bind to both CO2 and O2. So it is a correct statement. R is given as Rubisco is the most abundant enzyme in the world. Yes, it is also correct. Rubisco is most abundant enzyme. So both A and R are correct. So A become the correct answer. Both A and R are correct. Next is question 73. Question 73 asks that choose the incorrect statement. Choose the incorrect. So question 73 asks that select the incorrect statement with respect to the C4 plants. So if we go on reading the statement, statement A is given as the particularly large cells around the vascular bundles of the C4 pathway plants are called bundle sheath cells. Yes, C4 plant have a Cranch anatomy, and in Cranch anatomy bundle sheath cells are found around the vascular bundle, so it is a correct. B is given as the light reaction takes place in mesophyll cell while CO2 fixation occur in bundle sheath cell. Yes, it is also correct. C is given as that in C4 plant bundle sheath cells are having a thick wall impermeable to gases exchange and intercellular spaces. Thick walls and impermeable to gases and exchange and intercellular spaces. Actually, they do not have a intercellular spaces. So it is a incorrect. And D is given as the chloroplast and mesophyll cells exhibit a grana or granal organization. Yes, mesophyll cells have granal organization. So it is correct statement. C is incorrect. So C becomes the correct answer. Next is question 74. Question 74 asks that water soluble pigment found in plant cell vacuole. Water soluble pigment in plant cell vacuole. So answer become anthocyanin. That is option B. Anthocyanin is a water soluble pigment which commonly occur in membrane enclosed vacuoles. They are responsible for color of fruit and flower petals. They are responsible for color of fruits and flower petals. Next is question 75. Question 75 asks that what happens when proton gradient breakdown occurs? Proton gradient breakdown occurs. When proton gradient breakdown occurs, and this carried out by F0 and F1 complex, and H plus passes through this. So H plus passes through F0 F1 and ADP react with inorganic phosphate and ATP formation occur. So due to this there is synthesis of energy, means more amount of energy obtained. So C is the correct answer.